Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. So, December 2014 to February 2015, that was for me that period where I had decided on two things. One, I need a baby which will do a lot of good to the society. Two, my husband has been so helpful, caring, and supportive during this period. I should be able to give him a good gift in the form of a baby. So that period was that period for me, madam.
I am actually reminded of one thing I would like to share here, because it is the feeling of gratitude. Feeling of gratitude makes one happy. It is the key for happiness.
Yes, ma'am.
And that happiness and that intention makes conception easy. And baby is born conceived with that intention. It is carried on. One less known fact about Prahalada. Everybody knows that sage Narada was talking to his mother.
Correct.
And he listened during
Correct.
pregnancy. But actually what happened, even at the time of conception, Ravana was thinking, Hiranyakashipu was thinking about only Srihari. He was so much raged about after hearing this thing about his brother's demise.
Right.
So he wanted to take revenge of Srihari. So he'll come with such a rage. So what happens then? He comes home and his wife serves food. Once that hunger comes down, then she slowly massages, he takes rest. So he keeps on telling, while taking his head, I won't leave Srihari, I'll do something, I'll take revenge. After he has taken his food, the intensity comes down. He says, I will not leave him. Once she starts massaging his feet, she says, Srihari Akada, where is Srihari? Srihari. So he is in that, the intensity has come down, but he has not forgotten Srihari.
Thought of Srihari. And hence the boy
also even at the
Srihari
conception
only.
level, he's this thing, devotee of
Yes, ma'am.
Srihari.
Yeah. So, very nice. Actually, as we were talking previously, for us, from the beginning of the marriage, it was all about kids. So I had read somewhere that in fact even it was it is to be found in the Garbha Sanskar by Balaji Tambe also, that you need to do a prayer to invite the best soul to become a part of your life. So we had followed it pretty meticulously. And of course the surroundings, the environment, the people I have met, I had the opportunity to rub shoulders with the who's who of Indian who's who actually. So I had met people like Dr. Anil Kakodkar, Dr. Chidambaram, who have worked with the Pokhran nuclear activity. So I had met people who have done so much for the society that it started slowly percolating into my conscious and subconscious, into me and my husband, that if we were to give birth to someone, it has to be someone who can do something for the society. The baby is going to be a gift. Leading this kind of life and thinking about these things at conception has come not naturally, but we made it a habit. Frankly. So it was only that we should, since I have pressurized my husband with so much work for the last 15 days, the next 15 had to be much more relieving and enjoyable rather than the other 15
days. Yeah.
That was the only thought in mind. And then I started feeling very uncomfortable and very depressed, madam. Extremely depressed. All this sudden 15 days of energy has vanished. And I started feeling that I am getting weaker by the day, by every passing day. So one of these days, my colleague had come home. She's a good friend of mine. And she started asking me, I see a lot of difference in your attitude. You have now become very negative and beaten, and I don't know, it is not working. So I started crying for no reason, apparently. And I told her, it's not told her, while I'm telling her, this is what I felt. I felt that I have fallen into a deep hole which is at least about 2 meters below ground level. I felt suffocated. I felt very uncomfortable, dark. That is how I can put my mental feeling. So I had articulated it to her and my husband that I need a ray of hope. I need something to tell me that I can go on with my life. I need something that will tell me that I can live further. And this was on 7th March that I felt this way. Felt very negative, depressed, lonely, was begging for some ray of hope. And on March 8th, very unintentionally, I told my husband that I have been given some medicine that needs to be discontinued in case I am in case I am pregnant. For that and for that only, I would want to go for a urine pregnancy test. Because I wasn't sure of anything, because they have taken a slightly smaller role at that point. So he has brought it home and he left for work because he was also fairly sure that nothing may come out and I may go into further depression. He didn't want me to basically, he couldn't see me so dull. So he said, let me take a walk. So he went to work and then I see a positive line and I'm all excited. I had called you, I had called him. So, if you see now in retrospect, it's an answer to my question, to my wish, which was I need a ray of hope to continue. I need some indication that I am doing well. And that was the biggest indication that I am doing well. And all the depression and the negativity and all was the fatigue that was bringing me down due to my pregnancy. It was nothing mental. It has everything to do. It has everything to do with fatigue, physical with fatigue. Pregnancy. With pregnancy, the oversleeping and feeling tender and sensitive, and so this, as I just mentioned, it happens to be on International Women's Day. So that could have been a biggest indication to me that the little one is going to be a woman to begin with, a girl, and also that on International Women's Day, the baby wanted to tell me that you really are a woman of your kind. You're going to be a good mother. So probably these are the things in retrospect that make a lot of sense to me. But obviously the biggest meaning out of that is I asked for a ray of hope and I got something. After this news, now there is no 2-meter hole, there is no depression, there is no darkness. All that remains is a lot of positive energy. However, my first trimester was not non-incidental. I had after this I had a follow-up, just a normal scan to begin with, and then we saw some bleeding, a spotting, and then I was told that I may need to abort. So even before thinking about or making plans with the baby, we had to make plans with whether we should go for a chemical termination or a DNC. It was a very hard thing, because you know the journey. I am being more explicit about it. So I had spoken to you on the phone and you had told me to relax and that until the gestational sac has a certain amount of size, we cannot decide whether or not there is a fetal pole and we cannot talk about heartbeat. Then you had also told me to start on the HCG injections and to basically relax.
Yes.
So I had taken your suggestion to some extent. We started the treatment. However, I still remained very apprehensive the next couple of days. I was continuously crying, and at the end of the third day, I came to a conclusion that I will surrender and I will get chemically aborted. Which is when I consulted you again. I said, should I go tomorrow? You said, wait another day. You calculated based on the gestational sac size. I was 1.2 when I was diagnosed that there is no fetal pole. 3 days past is only 1.5. There's still a lot of time left, you told me. You told me to not rush into things, so I didn't. And then I started talking to my baby. I told my baby that thank you for showing me a ray of hope when I asked you to, but I must know that there is nothing wrong with you. And my nausea reverted. I started vomiting again. This was stopped for the last 5 days, right? There was no nausea, there was no vomitings. Absolutely, it was as though I was not pregnant at all. In each one of those signs started coming back, and my body showed more and more fatigue, and that vitality that I wanted, it has come back. So I attribute that to a connection that I was able to establish with my stillborn child. The one in the womb is able to talk to me, relate to me, show me something to move on, grab on, live. So that to me is are the beginnings of my talk to my baby. Yes. So I during that time, another wonderful thing that had happened to me is I received a copy of your book for editing. Talk to the baby. And then we discussed and we said, I will say talk to my baby because it is more personal to me. I received about 4 chapters, and each one of the chapter is a life-changing story in itself. So although the book had very limited editing to do, it was already in full shape and form. But I think God gave me this opportunity to go through so that I can firmly start believing the concept of talk to my baby. So I started reading through these chapters mainly with the intention, of course, of editing the book. But I have stumbled upon some gems of stories. Like Sai Pallavi, who falls down from a two-wheeler but tells the baby, you are safe, you have to show me an indication. Then we talk about the person who comes to the hospital, collects reports, keeps on talking to the baby in the auto. So how a mother can enjoy. I have started realizing. And the fruits are very sweet. The results are very sweet for these things. Even the experience is also sweeter. So when I started going through these experiences, the first thing I started doing is put a small kala tika on my tummy. I started treating my tummy as a baby, and I started putting a small tilak to keep it off from all the evils. Just like you do for a baby. The second thing I started doing is, while we take bath, I started singing a small song. Bubbles, bubbles, mummy, baby, bath together. Bubbles, bubbles. And then I started giving Sri Rama Raksha that we do in the Telugu tradition. We do Sri Rama Raksha to the baby and wish that long life for a baby. So I started doing that to my tummy itself. Rather than thinking of the baby as a separate entity, I started treating my body as my baby and started conversing with the baby. A single person can change the world, I have heard many times, but with family support, it becomes much better always. So my mother-in-law was staying with me during that time because my mom was assisting my sister in London. So my mother-in-law and my husband didn't write me off as some lunatic. They absolutely understood the concept. In fact, Dr. Dilip, my husband, has helped me edit the pages of the book, then scanned, uploaded. He has done his part. So he started talking and every day saying the same poem to the baby. And then I used to ask we had a visiting consultant in where we were staying in that city. So I started asking the consultant, when should I start perceiving the baby's movements? He said, considering that you're stout, obese, not until 20 weeks. So I was like, okay. But I felt the first kick as soon as the first trimester ended, very early, around 14th week. And
for a primey, it is too early. But because of your sensitivity and the baby's response, you could make it.
It was a very funny, bubbly feeling. It was as though a small butterfly just ran through my tummy. It's magic. The baby exists. You see the baby on the scan, but this is a different feeling altogether. So yeah, that's where the second trimester brought in so many positives with it. Basically because my baby is now reciprocating physically in a way that I can understand. So yeah, that's one of the biggest benefits of the second trimester. Of course, nausea didn't come down. I continuously had the symptoms, but I actually wanted it to stay that way.
Yeah.
I asked the baby because I associated the well-being. It is not scientifically proven, I know, but with or without nausea, the baby is doing well. But I kept on insisting to the baby that your well-being to me is through nausea. So it continued all the way to the day of my delivery. It was never an issue.
Discomfort.
Yeah. So on many important occasions, I made decisions based on the baby's response. I started getting to understand the likes and dislikes of the baby. During my second trimester, I think one of the television channels was running a program, Indian Idol Junior, wherein which the kids who all sing are about ages from 3 to 4 years to maximum of 14. Everybody was under 14. And there was this cute little girl who was about 7 years of age. I think Ronita. She used to sing like a dream. And whenever she sang a song, my baby started relating and she started kicking. So, secondly, one another thing before I forget, I used to pray for a boy and my husband used to pray for a girl. So, I used to call this baby as Balram. I just gave a pet name. So, I used to be always like Balram. And I used to get this reply from inside, like someone speaking from a well, that Amma, I am Abhirami. I am not Balram. So the baby has been consistently telling me its gender, although I sort of chose to ignore it. Her baby had full clarity that it is a girl. It wanted to convey, it conveyed many times also. So I started understanding baby's likes, dislikes.
You could hear from inside.
Inside, yes ma'am. Completely. A girl, child's voice.
It was a clear voice.
It was a very clear voice. It was not an illusion.
Repeated on many occasions.
Yes, because it was not something that I wanted.
I know.
If it would have been something that I wanted, I could equally as good as been hallucinating an extension of my thought. This is on contra. It was exactly opposite of what I wanted at that point of time. It's only because we are both girls at home. It had no other this thing. Of course, there was one another reason. Logically, I was thinking that if my girl child would tell me that she wants to go to a lab, do a discovery around 2 or 3 a.m., I wanted the boy also to go along with her to take care of her. Not that she is not self-sufficient. I was the elder child of the home. Being a girl, many times I felt that I could have used a brother to become much better.
Okay.
So when I had a girl, I wanted a brother to be already there. That was actually the main intention. That's why I named the boy as Balram. Because the next one, Krishna or Maya, whoever was coming, had a support ready. So it so happens that this girl is always telling me I am not Balram, I am Abhirami. And I comfortably choose to ignore it. And during the second trimester, as I was saying, I was able to see the likes and dislikes. Now, what is a dislike, you ask me? Dislike of bitter gourd juice, Karela, when I drink, baby didn't like it. And the reason I was drinking it is because I wanted the baby to develop a palate.
Okay.
You could see by a sudden, very jerky movement followed by a lull.
Okay.
The baby doesn't move after that.
Sure.
On the other hand, if you give a sweet juice, the baby continues with the glucose, starts jumping around. Baby doesn't like onion and garlic. I was advised in the hospital here that I should drink buttermilk with onion, garlic, and lot of other things to keep the body cool. After the baby is born, if I consume, I was told that garlic kicks in lactation, it gives a lot of milk. So if when I used to consume just the kacha raw garlic, baby does not drink my milk properly. So it had developed an apathy towards these foods right in the womb. And secondly, even today, the fruits that I have consumed with pleasure and happiness, she eats them with the same happiness. The fruits that I didn't consumed only because of pregnancy, or fruits that I avoided because they are not good for the body, the baby doesn't take a liking to them at all. For example, I was not allowed to eat mango because it basically increases the heat in the body. Full mango season, in the place where we live, one of the persons from the farm gave us non-pesticide, non-carbide mangoes, about 50-60 of them. She ate one bit of it every day but never relished. On the other hand, I loved bananas while I was pregnant, and she likes bananas. So while eating, probably I have not told her, or I have not told her that I'm eating this for you, you should also develop a liking.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that is very visible.
Okay.
So other likes, mainly music. Music has been her constant companion. I played a single song, Achyutam Keshavam, Achyutashtakam. For her, from pre-pregnancy, I used to listen to that song. Even during a scanning, we carried the song with us. We played the song. We saw how baby reacts to the song. So baby identifies the song.
Moving the limbs.
Yes, all 4 limbs at that time.
Okay.
Then we played it after delivery. But the baby listens to the song, wakes up happy, starts crying then, as an acknowledgement that I know this song. So the second trimester was mostly.
And what other things you did? Like apart from song, you did anything so that during scan you could see the response?
Actually, my husband spoke to the baby and told the baby that, of course, we were not interested in gender reveal. But my husband told that the baby should show its nose. Yes. And the baby revealed only nose that day. The eyes were closed with the limbs. Yes. Okay. Only the nose was out. And one of these days, he asked him to show a thumbs up. And the baby showed him thumbs up.
So
we wanted to see the
doctor was surprised.
Oh, yeah, she was big time surprised. My radiologist was always surprised. She was like, your baby does the cutest things sometimes. And then we told that today we are going for a 4D scan. We want you to smile. See, I wish I can show you these things. Maybe I can supply the scan to your talk. Yeah. The baby gives the biggest smile to this to the 4D scan. It is so beautiful. You see your baby smile.
When you ask.
That's. I don't know if that is not a miracle. I don't know what is. So second trimester, lot of goods.
In your workplace, how baby behave?
My baby, I used to tell my baby, I always have long meetings. So I used to tell my baby that it should get accustomed to that. That Amma will be a part of a meeting for a long time. And if the baby is uncomfortable, the baby should give me a kick in a manner where I can get up, take a break. So when the meeting is monotonous, I think my baby also sleeps. There was not much of an activity. But when I shout at somebody, being in the position that I am, demand work out of those people, she jumps and gives jerks and happiness.
Happy.
So this one wants me to be all authoritative and administrative. Very cooperative that way.
Yeah.
Never had to leave a meeting.
Okay.
Continued long meetings. I was, of course, pretty open about my food habits, that I'm going to consume food during meetings also. I couldn't give up on my anything actually, because it'll finally affect the baby. So, yeah, motherhood comes with a lot of responsibility. It is not a one-time job, You cannot just pass. You always have to be 100% parent. I think babies have a connection with the God himself.
Yeah.
And they sort of like a puppet master. They control things for you. And even before the delivery, I had asked the baby to be comfortable, and then so this asking for help was not a one-time thing. I sort of got used to it. As an indication that it's a girl, my baby did a biggest sign for me. A flock of about 14 parrots have come to our window where we live in our home. When I look out of the window, the tree started looking in a different shade of green. The neem tree is not of that shade. So I wonder what's going on. And then I go out and see there's a lot of parrots. 14 of them. Yeah. Very beautiful green. And my husband tells me, see, baby is trying to tell you it is Andal. With the parrot. And I am telling me, no, Telugu, parrot is Rama Chiluka. Baby is telling me it is Balarama. So, yeah, we had lots of these incidences where baby showed us many wonderful things. We saw a double rainbow during pregnancy. We saw these parrots never before, never after. And lot of things. I had then started writing letters to my baby. So when they were about 207 days left to my delivery, I suddenly have this passion to read stories about Nobel Prize winners. So I started reading the book, and the book has 207 winners. One for each day prior to my delivery. And I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's not.
I think the baby has basically wanted me to be more equipped. With knowledge, so that when it can come out, when it does come out, I can share this knowledge with the baby. And I think my baby actually is equipping me with all this information, so that later on in the future, I should not say, I don't know. When it asks me a question regarding something related to medicine, I should be able to probably answer. Or the baby is telling me that, look, I am going to be busy this way. You better understand my life even before I come. So I read about Bose. I read about a lot of scientists, doctors, paleontologists, because I don't know which career my baby is going to embark. But there is, of course, one wish that I think the future generation needs more mental training than physical training. Physical fitness, everybody is worried these days. They are doing their part, avoiding fast foods and all. Mental fitness, nobody is taking care. Recently, I have come across a final year girl committing suicide in some engineering college because she had some problems at home. See, I think the future generation needs a lot of help to be mentally fit. And I think if my baby can play a role in that, by either counseling, I don't know which field she would choose, but if some way it can uplift somebody's mood just like you do for us, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah. And that has always been your intention.
Yes, ma'am. Our intention, me and my husband, both of us were always like something for the society. Because these days I am seeing that people do not conceive very easily. Because there's a lot of taboo attached to talking about pregnancy and delivery and conception. People are afraid to tell they are taking fertility treatment.
Yeah.
So we had a video session, right? We
yeah.
had a meeting.
Okay.
After that meeting, many people have gone back and seen my YouTube video. At the same time, they have seen the program telecasted on TV also. So many people from my mother-in-law's place have already seen the video. And this visit, when before coming, I was speaking to her. I said, do you know there is a program? She said, yes, many have watched already and they have mentioned it to me. So I asked her, I have brought family into it. I am talking the full-fledged facts. Does it affect you? Is it wrong? Because I'm going to do another one now, and should I? So she told me that I am all support for you. You're helping people through your story, and that is finally the way of life. If we can help somebody through our experience, so that's why I'm here, because of the help from the family.
Nice, the family support is there.
Touch wood.
Yes.
They're amazing. Then came the third trimester. But all through the pregnancy, if we don't break it up into trimesters, the one thing that I have very meticulously followed is, of course, the diet. I did not skip any meals. I did not take any processed food. I ate as per the advice of Andal Madam and Sanat Sir. And wherever there was a lack of any vitamin or anything, I coped it up with a lot of food, like maybe when iron, I ate a lot of kharjur, I ate a lot of soaked badam. So I followed the diet. As far as the fitness is concerned, I had started going to yoga classes. Did a lot. I was advised against walking, so I didn't walk much. I did a lot of yoga. But the other thing which was consistent with me is Sudarsana Kriya.
Okay.
Breathing, imagining the baby's face, legs, hands, teeth, vagera, having a blueprint of the baby, and talking with my baby during that time. So a lot of breathing and then talking about intentions. So Sanat sir, who is the yoga counselor here, diet counselor here, has helped me. He used to repeat intentions for me. And I used to basically make the baby listen to his phone call. See, these things happen long distance also. Person to person, you don't have to sit beside each other. So the baby started listening to Sanat sir, and he started saying things like, you are going to be so concentrated on whatever you do that no matter what if someone's calling you also, you will not be interested in answering. You'd rather concentrate on your work. So it will take a couple of times of your name before you answer to them. You will love books. So these are the things that he had said repeatedly. And after the baby is born, now they are there in her. They are imbibed. Okay. So if Rohini is playing with this toy and I cannot disturb her.
Okay.
You call Rohini couple of times, and then a third or fourth time she'll look at you and she's like, Mom, I'm busy, sort of a expression. And Sanat sir also explained how the baby should let me work and should be disciplined. As on today, anyone who meets her tells her that she is probably one of the most disciplined kids. At an age of 1, she understands that when I am eating, she cannot put her hand in my plate. So when I go sit down and eat in a function, or when I am sitting on a table, she will sit on my lap till I complete my meal, but she will not touch my plate.
Oh. So nice.
She just doesn't. She thinks mom needs her time to eat.
Okay. So this particular thing you told during pregnancy?
I did. Not about the food aspect, but I told her that she will be given her turn to talk and play with me.
Oh.
And while I am doing something else, it does not mean that I have forgotten her. Super. It just means that I am doing something to make her future better.
Okay.
So my working has a lot of things to fulfill my dream, but has more to do with fulfilling her dreams. I don't know what they are yet.
Okay.
So if she wants to, let's say, go to John Hopkins and study medicine, I should be equipped financially, mentally, physically to help her do that. And for that, I need to work. And so I'm not just following my dreams, I'm actually paving a way for her dreams. And that Ridhanya understands, according to me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's she never disturbs me from work. And even my husband.
Any other mannerisms with others? Because this is children, usually they put their hand.
She doesn't.
Once,
she doesn't.
So,
and she's very unlike many other kids in one sense that when I'm watching my favorite television program, I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy. She sits there and quietly plays with her toys.
Okay.
But the minute show is completed, she wants me to pick her up. So she'll make a fuss about it.
Okay. So she gives your time?
Absolutely.
And she has, she expresses her and rather
desire later.
Yeah.
I mean.
With others, how she behaves with elders?
See, with him, with my husband, she's a doll. It's very evident that she doesn't want anyone to touch my husband. So even when he goes to his grandmom and all, she basically tells him that you are my list. No one else can take you from me.
Okay.
With my mom and dad, she feels so much liberty. She understands. I'll give you an example. In the 2nd month through 4th month, Ridhanya didn't sleep in the nights. She used to sleep during the mornings, be awake in the nights. I have never told her to sleep in the night also. I was just enjoying as it goes. Yeah, I was getting tired, no doubt. But my daytime work is not getting hampered because this one sleeps. But my father, on the other hand, as a very concerned father, he saw that I was talking through the night to the baby. And then I was telling her about Ramayana and other things. So he told Ridhanya that, Ridhanya, see, I'm very angry with you that you're keeping your mom up. This is not good. She stopped noticing my dad after that for a couple of days. She ignored him completely. He, to the extent that he understood that she is intentionally not looking at him. And then we are all wondering why she's doing this. Then I was like, Ridhanya, what is it up? Why are you doing this to Tata? You shouldn't. She slept through the night, woke up in the morning, went to my dad, laughing, playing. In a way, she's telling him, see, Tata, you told me to sleep and give your kid, your daughter, 1 night of sleep. I gave it to her. From that day forward, she's again the same. She sleeps in the morning, wakes up in the night. But because he was concerned about me, she cut him some slack and said, okay, see, this is what I'm going to do for you. Then my mom, during my entire pregnancy, whether she was with me or whether she was away, she used to recite about 156 stotras for her. And the minute she listens to my mom's voice in the womb, she gives that jerk of, I know you, I like you. And now she plays with my mom in the same way. She looks at my mother as an extension of me. So it's like she's not a different person. So the baby bonds because we kept telling the baby we are a loving family. So she met her cousin, my husband's brother's son, our nephew. There are a lot of people that day at home, about 4 days ago. She went crawling only to her cousin, whom we have not introduced much. He met her when she was 25 days old. This is the second time they're meeting. So there are 7-8 people. She crawls to this boy, holds him by his hair, plays only with him, looks at him, touches his cheeks with her lips. She identifies him because we spoke about him a lot.
Okay.
See, already there is a child at home, so we naturally think about his ability, how
nice.
he is, and so she developed this kind of a.
It is like listening about Parikshit.
Exactly, and she does the same thing with my sister's son too. They have not met yet, but when she sees his video, she chuckles and They get it. They get each other. He says ooh and she says lala. They talk to each other as if they have known. Because he was born when she was 6.5 months old. And we keep telling her, this is your brother. So yeah, some during pregnancy, some post pregnancy, I see a lot of affection. Because the one thing that I repeatedly told Ridhanya during my pregnancy was respect elders. Be affectionate to younger people than you, and love everyone who's of your age and respect them. To me, that is vital. Because I think this generation after generation, the traditions have been diluted so much that touching somebody's feet is right now not expected. Whereas Ridhanya, on the other hand, when she sees anybody, she touches their feet first. We don't tell her to do it. She goes, touches elders' feet by herself. She's barely 1 year old. Yeah, she gets this because every time before talking to her, I used to tell, Andal Madam, Sampath Kumaran Sir, G.R. Swami, all three of you, all my gurus, parents, I am bowing to your feet. I am going to talk to my baby. With your blessing, I have become pregnant already. Now I am continuing my journey. Please bless us. That's how I used to begin. So, and I used to end also by saying thank you to all of them. So she got this urge to kind of touch feet.
So you never told her particularly to touch feet?
No, I just told her to respect elders.
So it is an unuttered wish.
Yeah, it's like an extension of my
thought process.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. So I think there's a lot of difference, madam. We keep asking for many wishes. When I was studying before going to USA for my studies, I wished that I wanted to join Cornell. I had already applied to NCSU, got everything from there. I was going to go to my visa. And then a time came when I cannot change my institution name on my visa anymore. I can, if possible, future I can change my college. But for visa purposes, I am now locked with NCSU. And then I received my Cornell letter. So I got my admission in Cornell also. But that is just my wish. So with Ridhanya, it is not like that. I don't have to be too specific that this is how I want you to behave. She just gets it. Anyone who meets, in Telugu, we say, Edub Gottu Pilla, meaning a cry baby in English, right? Anyone we meet, they say, she's not a cry baby. She doesn't cry. She plays with the caretaker, she plays with grandparents, she plays with people who come home. It's as good as that. I mean, you don't have to explain anything to her explicitly.
How about, because you said you are reading about Nobel laureates, this thing. Is she interested in seeing books and...
She loves books. She wakes up with one in her hand every single day. She doesn't tear off pages. Of course, recently she did tear one book, but her natural disposition is to just keep a book in hand.
Okay.
Whether it is in reverse position or not, she doesn't care. And even when she's crying, when she's uncomfortable, hungry, vagera, if you say A for apple or A say anar, she stops, looks at the chart and starts smiling. Very easy to please her. It's not difficult to calm her down. Another thing, Ridhanya never asks for food in public. When we go out, see, kids' hunger is unpredictable. You cannot say, I have already fed her, I have another 3 hours. You never know when they become hungry. When she is outside, she doesn't cry for food. She doesn't ask. When you come home and you don't feed her for 10 minutes, that's when she gets restless. And she tells you that, see, it's time now, you have to feed me. We were outside and we are like, Danya, you could have given us a sign, we would have fed you in the car. She doesn't.
Only coming home.
That's all. Trains, somehow she's uncomfortable. I don't know why. I don't know whether it is the fear of locked spaces or I have to still figure out along with her.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe because I traveled a couple or 3 or 4 times in the train, and maybe I was not comfortable. So I don't know what is it with her and the trains. It just doesn't go well with her. But in a car, she doesn't bother you at all.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
No. She doesn't cry. She doesn't make a fuss about anything. I travel Maharashtra to Hyderabad about 8 hours in the car. Nothing, not a peep voice. She either sleeps or plays. So yeah, third trimester, people started talking about deliveries, normal, cesarean, other things. It never stuck to me until the second semester that I have to think about the delivery also. But consistently, there was this one person, my mother-in-law, who told me that I am going to have a normal delivery. She was a very big counselor. She always told me, you will have a normal delivery. Because you're active, you're doing everything, there is no reason why you shouldn't have a normal delivery. So I continued to believe it. My mum, on the other hand, told me that she doesn't care by which method I become a mother. See, if suppose it was not a natural conception, it would have been through IUI or IVF. Even in that case, I would have been equally a mother only. So the mode of delivery is not an issue. My mom told me, if you have a natural delivery, normal delivery, I will have to help you for about 10 days. If it's a C-section, I will have to help you for a couple of months. I am prepared for both. So you don't have to stress yourself on which kind of delivery. So I told my baby, come in a method which is good for you. Okay. Of course, I had normal delivery. Everything went well. Nothing to mention.
So after delivery, baby, how she recognized you?
Post delivery, it's beautiful, madam. Baby, when you hold the baby, when you start looking into its eyes, baby recognizes your voice because it has heard you continuously. And baby basically, baby of 1 hour recognized the song that I used to play, turned its head towards me and its dad, and Ridhanya started smiling. It saw my father-in-law, her grandfather, smiled. It saw my mother-in-law, waved. Saw my dad, nodded. Saw my mum, and started crying when my mum said bye. So it had a reaction. A small baby of 1 hour had a reaction, a customized reaction to each one of the family members. And that is because we have spoken so much about the family through the 9 months. So I don't know, when people think that kids don't have brain or kids don't perceive things, I think it is very wrong. You know why? Because when we were in a moving train, Ridhanya is looking at the platform, and there's this man somewhere in her vision, I cannot see him, who picked up his phone. Ridhanya put her hand here and started saying hello. Oh. And I'm thinking, we are not using the phone, who is? And then see from the window, there's this man on the platform. She can't even hear him. So kids perceive all kinds of things. So I think that is vital for a mother to understand, that you cannot think there is nothing. Something is growing inside of you, and it is your responsibility to give a proper background, a proper environment to this baby. You cannot ignore the fact that the baby is actually observing every move of yours. So there comes a lot of responsibility on the shoulder of mother, of course, but for the entire family. You cannot shout, make fuss. You cannot make the baby think that outside world is very wild. You cannot watch movies with lot of gory scenes and expect a good baby. You cannot hear two stories of someone doing something wrong and baby to be alright. It is a moral binding upon the family to welcome the child and welcome it very peacefully. And whatever it requires to be done, needs to be done for that. So we started playing a lot of good movies, songs, of course, and everybody does that. But more can be done. You can be in constant company of good people.
Okay.
You can tell the baby that this is the problem with the world, but I think this problem will have a solution and you can be a part of it. So, of course, growing up, what Ridhanya is going to do is completely her choice. I cannot predict the future, but I know that with such good support that I had, she will grow into a very understanding individual with a lot of independence, of course. And I think she will not be a trouble to anybody. That to me is a very convincing, comfortable thought. To think that your baby will know its welfare and can handle it is every parent's dream.
About her success, what you told us.
I think she will be successful no matter what.
Did you tell anything
Yeah, I did.
specifically?
We did tell her a lot of things. To begin with, we told her that she needs to be very perseverant and she shouldn't feel bad for failures, that we are always there to support her.
Okay.
And what I told her was, I never told her you will be number one, but what I told her was, you will be a champion no matter what.
Okay.
And also, I have written a letter to my baby. In that, I have written, when you have a problem, come talk to me. We will find solution together. There is no unsolved problem in this world. You just have to give time. So I think she gets it.
Yes. So you said you need not be number one. That means putting.
No, I
pressure.
never said a negative thing.
So
I never said you need not be number one.
You be number one. That means you don't want to put pressure or.
That's exactly. I never spoke about any ranking.
Yeah.
Ever.
So because that may create complexes.
No, yeah, unnecessarily. I never said you should not be one. I never said you don't have to be one or be one. All I am saying is, you champion means someone who wins the task at hand, and you will be that. To me, you are already a champion. You will go through a lot of positives, negatives, but everything will give you a lesson. I can say that I am a very content mother because I see that the things I have spoken to her have not gone waste. Leaving her to come to this interview was not easy, but she made it very easy to me. She woke up prior to what she usually wakes up, got her feed and everything done, went back to sleep. So I left home when she was sleeping. Very comfortably. So I think, madam, before we conclude on anything, I would like to thank you for delivering the next generation and delivering them so positively. Each mother who goes through your hand reforms herself, becomes someone else altogether. More than a pregnancy, this is like a self-finding journey.
You're right.
So to impose our dreams on the babies is definitely wrong. But to support babies' dreams, we need to also change. And I think that is the life-altering journey.
Beautifully said.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity to relive these moments.
Yeah. It's wonderful listening to you. So it will be, I'm sure it's going to be useful for reader, for viewers, and because it is like lighting a lamp.
I just hope that you will continue on your mission and God will give you and Bhaskar sir more strength, courage, money, everything to put this mission to use. And we will be able to in the future deliver a lot of good babies for the society.
Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure is mine.
Yeah. No, because understanding the concept, practicing and able to deliver it again. so that in a way people can understand. So that is what it is. So the concept reflected through your experience, it will be applicable, understandable, reach many people, I wish, because it is God's work we are doing.
Whatever is required of me in the future, I will be a part of the team.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
madam.
Thank you so much.